Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech with Kaushik. Now, I want you to look at the device in your hand right now, that glowing rectangle of glass. For 15 years, it has been the center of your entire digital life. But what if I told you that its days are numbered? This is not a video about a cool new gadget. It's a video about a funeral and a resurrection, because the smartphone as we know it is quietly dying, and what's replacing it is going to change absolutely everything. If you're into where technology is really heading, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button, because trust me, this one gets wild. Let's get into it. Think about how much of your day disappears into this screen. You reach into your pocket, you unlock, you tap, you scroll, and then you look up, and 20 minutes are gone. We've hit what experts are now calling peak screen fatigue. The smartphone was a miracle built for the age of apps, but we are stepping into a completely different era, the age of artificial intelligence. And in this new world, that little rectangle isn't the future anymore. In fact, it's already starting to dissolve. But here's the twist that makes this story so fascinating. The phone isn't just vanishing into thin air. It's being reborn into something completely new. Imagine the technology you love breaking apart into invisible pieces and then reassembling all around you, onto your eyes, into your ears, onto your finger. The screen is about to leave your hand and quietly spread across your whole body. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, in 2026, it is absolutely becoming science fact. But before we get to the future, we have to talk about the graveyard. Here's what almost every other video on this topic will not tell you. The first, companies that tried to kill the smartphone, they crashed and they burned hard. Welcome to the AI hardware graveyard. Because before the glasses, before the rings, there was a wave of ambitious little gadgets that promised to set us free from our screens. They had jaw-dropping demos, sold out pre-orders, millions of views. The tech world called them the future. And then, one by one, they died. So before we crown the winners, let's understand why the pioneers failed, because that is the key to everything that comes next. Exhibit A, the AI pin. A tiny, screenless square you clipped onto your shirt. No apps, no display, just talk to it, and the AI would handle your life. The vision was beautiful. The price tag? $699, plus a $24 monthly subscription. Ouch. But the real problem wasn't just the cost. This little device ran hot, uncomfortably hot, sitting right there on your chest. It was packed so densely that there was simply nowhere for the heat to go. A gadget that promised the future, but literally couldn't keep its cool. And it got worse. Instead of a screen, it used a tiny laser projector to beam information onto your palm. Sounds incredibly cool, right? Well, in theory. In reality, the moment you stepped outside into the sunlight, that projection washed out completely. You'd be standing on the street, squinting at your own hand, seeing basically nothing. Reviewers called the picture quality crap. Imagine paying $700 to wave your hand around in the sun like you're casting a spell. That is not the seamless future anyone was promised. But here's the most chilling part of the story. This device depended entirely on the company's servers to function. So when the company failed and got sold off for parts, the servers were switched off, and every single one of those pins turned into a useless brick. Overnight, customers who paid hundreds of dollars were left holding dead plastic. No refunds, no features, nothing. This is the brutal, hidden danger of AI hardware. When the cloud goes dark, you're expensive. Gadget can die with it. Remember that lesson. It matters for everything coming next. Then there was the little orange one. A bright, playful handheld gadget that took the internet by storm. Over 100,000 people pre-ordered it, convinced they were holding the next big thing. It promised an AI that could magically operate any app for you. Just push a button and speak. But when it landed in people's hands, it was slow. It was clunky. It barely did what it promised. Critics nailed it with one brutal phrase. It was a solution looking for a problem. And that, right there, is the trap that keeps catching these companies. So what's the deeper lesson hiding in this graveyard? It's this: software can fix itself. An app can push an update every single week, quietly getting better while you sleep. But hardware? Hardware is frozen the moment it ships. If you sell a broken physical device, you can't just patch your way out of it. You're stuck with those flaws for months or even years. That's why launching AI hardware too early is so incredibly dangerous. These pioneers confused a viral demo with a real product, and they paid the ultimate price. So, what makes the new wave any different? Great question. Let's find out. Now, if you're a little older, you might be thinking, Koushik, we've seen smart. Here's the answer, and it's the heart of this entire video. Between then and now, for massive technical walls that blocked smart glasses have quietly, independently, collapsed. Not one, all four. And when those four barriers fell at the same time, they created something genuinely new. A pair of normal-looking glasses that can actually replace a huge chunk of what you pull your phone out for. Let me show you each wall that came tumbling down. Wall number 1, brightness. The old displays were dim and useless outdoors, but today's micro-LED panels are almost unbelievable. We're talking over 5,000 nits of brightness, packed into a chip smaller than a grain of rice, that is bright enough to read crystal-clear text in direct sunlight, projected right inside your lens. The exact problem that killed those early gadgets? Solved. Completely. The picture is now brilliant, sharp, and readable anywhere you go. Wall number 2, the optics. In the past, to show you an image, glasses needed bulky prisms and chunky hardware sticking off your face. Not anymore. Meet the waveguide, an ultra-thin, transparent layer inside the lens that bends light directly into your eye. It's as thin as the lens itself, so from the outside, you can't even tell it's there. The technology that used to make you look like a cyborg is now completely, beautifully invisible. That's a game changer for something you wear on your face all day. Wall number 3, the brains. Early devices had to send everything up to the cloud and wait for an answer. Slow, laggy, and useless without a signal. But now, tiny, powerful AI chips called NPS live right inside the frame of your glasses. They can run smart AI models locally, on your face, in real time. So your glasses can recognize what you're looking at, translate a sign, or answer a question in about 600 milliseconds. That's faster than you can blink. And crucially, it still works even when the internet doesn't. And wall number 4, honestly, maybe the most important one of all, fashion. Because here's the truth nobody in tech wants to admit. It doesn't matter how smart your gadget is. If it makes you look ridiculous, nobody will wear it. This time, the biggest eyewear company on the planet got involved, and they put the technology inside frames that people genuinely find stylish. Glasses you'd actually be happy to wear out in public. Smart finally became beautiful, and that changes the whole game. And the results? They speak for themselves. Look at this trajectory. One popular line of smart glasses sold around 2 million pairs in 1 year. The next year, that doubled to 4 million. And this year, they're on pace to ship more than 8 million. That is not a niche gadget for tech nerds anymore. That is a mainstream product catching fire. The quiet revolution isn't coming. It is already here. So the next question is, where exactly does all this technology go? Now here's where I want to give you a perspective you won't hear anywhere else. Everyone keeps asking, what single device will replace the phone? But that's the wrong question, because the phone isn't being replaced by one thing. It's dissolving and spreading across your body into 4 different pieces. I call them the 4 organs of ambient computing. Your eyes, your ears, your hands, and your home. Let's meet each one. First, the eyes. This is where the screen goes. Instead of staring down at a slab of glass, information floats gently in front of you. Directions, messages, translations, layered right onto the world you're already looking at. And pair it with a slim wristband that reads the tiny electrical signals in your muscles. And you can control it all with a subtle flick of your fingers. No touchscreen. No, looking down. Your eyes stay up on the real world. That's the whole dream. Second, the ears. This one replaces all those endless notifications and text messages. Imagine a tiny earbud with an AI assistant living inside it, always there, always listening for your cue, ready to have a natural, flowing conversation whenever you need it. No buzzing, no pinging, no pulling out a phone to check what just popped up. Just a calm, quiet voice that gives you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Technology that whispers instead of shouts. Third, the hands. Meet the smart ring. This elegant little band replaces the need to type or tap. Packed with motion and biometric sensors, it reads your gestures and even your body's signals. A subtle pinch of your fingers, a small movement in the air, and a command is sent. It's discreet, it's silent, and it's almost magical. All the control of a keyboard shrunk down onto a single finger. And fourth, the home. This is where it gets really interesting. Companies are now building screenless AI companions that live in your house, devices designed to feel less like a speaker and more like a presence. Some can even physically turn and move on their own, learning about you over time, quietly managing your digital life in the background. No screen, just a calm, helpful companion that's simply there. Now, watch what happens when you connect all four together. This is the invisible mesh. Your glasses, your earbud, your ring, and your home companion, all working together as one seamless system that surrounds you. There's no single phone anymore. The technology has spread out, gone quiet, and faded into the background of your life. It sees what you see, hears what you say, and anticipates what you need before you even ask. This is what people mean by ambient computing. Technology that's everywhere and nowhere. Invisible, but always ready. And it fundamentally changes how we do, well, everything. Let me show you the biggest shift of all. On the left, the old way. A phone. Screen crammed with 100 little app icons. Each one a separate task. A separate tap. A separate thing to manage. Exhausting. On the right, the new way. A single, calm AI that just understands what you want. We are moving from an app-centric world to an intent-centric world. You stop hunting through menus. You simply state your intention, and it happens. Which brings me to the coolest example. Picture the old way for a second. Unlock your phone, open your airline app, find your flight, copy the details, open a chat app, paste it, send it. 6 steps, maybe more. Now, the new way. You just say, send my flight details to Koushik. That's it. The AI operating system coordinates across all those systems in the background. No apps, no copying, no tapping. The middleman is gone. This is why people say the App Store itself is slowly dying. You don't navigate the technology anymore. It navigates itself for you. Okay, but here's a question that probably just popped into your head. How can a tiny, feather-light pair of glasses be this powerful without getting hot, heavy, and dying in 20 minutes? It's a brilliant question, and the answer is a bit of a beautiful illusion. Because the truth is, your glasses aren't really doing the heavy thinking at all. They're just a lightweight window. And understanding this is the key to understanding the entire future of this technology. This concept is called inference economics. And stay with me, because it's simpler than it sounds. Your glasses are a low-power doorway. When you ask them something, they send a tiny, lightweight signal to a hub, maybe in your home or pocket. That hub then fires the heavy request off to a massive, hyper-powerful data center miles away. That giant server does all the intense AI number crunching in an instant and beams the answer right back to your lenses. The featherweight glasses on your face are just the messenger. The real muscle is somewhere else entirely. Now, it's not all in the cloud, and this is the clever part. It's a hybrid. Simple, private, instant tasks, like recognizing a face or reading a sign, happen right on the device at the edge. That keeps them fast and keeps your data close. But the big, complex, heavy reasoning, that gets sent up to the cloud, where there's almost unlimited power. Edge for speed and privacy, cloud for muscle, working together in perfect balance. That's the secret formula that makes these tiny devices feel superhuman. And there's one more piece of this puzzle that's about to supercharge everything. 6G, the next generation of wireless. Now, every big leap in wireless has been huge, but 6G is different because it's being built with artificial intelligence, woven directly into the network itself. That means near-instant communication between your devices and the cloud everywhere you go. It's the invisible highway that makes this whole ambient world possible. When 6G arrives, the line between your device and the cloud basically disappears. And the result of all this? Speed that feels like magic. You ask a question, and the signal races to a data center and back, with an answer arriving in mere milliseconds, faster than the blink of an eye. It feels instant. It feels local. It feels like the intelligence is right there inside your glasses, even though the real work happened miles away. That is the illusion perfected, and it's what makes this future actually usable in real life. But now, we have to talk about the dark side, because the thing that could stop this entire revolution isn't the technology. It's trust. Picture this. You walk into your favorite cafe, and everyone around you is wearing these glasses, each one with a tiny camera that could be recording right now. And you'd have no way of knowing. Suddenly, that magical technology feels a little unsettling. This is the biggest, most uncomfortable question of the whole AI hardware era, and most videos are too afraid to ask it. Here's why this matters so much. For years, we've had an unspoken social contract. When someone raises a phone to record you, you can see it. The camera is obvious. You know it's happening, and you can react. But smart glasses shatter that contract completely. The camera sits right at eye level, always there, pointed wherever the wearer looks, and you might never know it's on. When recording becomes invisible, consent becomes impossible. And that is a genuinely serious problem we all have to grapple with. Now, the companies say, don't worry, there's a little light that turns on when recording. And technically, that's true. But that light is tiny. It's often nearly invisible in daylight, and meaningless if you don't already know what it stands for. In fact, some people have deliberately covered that light with tape to record in secret, which forced the manufacturers to build in software that disables the camera if the light is blocked. It's a constant cat-and-mouse game over your privacy, and it's far from solved. And here's the flashpoint that keeps experts up at night. Facial recognition. A camera that simply records is one thing, but a camera that can instantly identify, categorize, and track every person it sees, that's something else entirely. In that moment, your glasses stop being a friendly gadget and become a biometric tracking instrument. This is the ethical line that society and regulators are racing to draw right now, and how we handle it will decide whether this future is a dream or something far more troubling. So here we are, standing at the edge of something huge. The smartphone is dissolving. The glasses, the rings, the earbuds, they're rising to take its place. Even leaders at the biggest tech companies quietly agree, within 10 years, the phone will no longer be the center of our lives. But the real question was never whether the technology is ready. The real question is whether we are ready. Are we ready to live in an always-on world? And ultimately, that choice belongs to you. Will you embrace a screenless world, where technology finally lets you look up and live in the moment? Or will the privacy worries hold you back and keep that trusty rectangle in your pocket a little longer? There's no wrong answer. But one thing is certain, the future is arriving whether we're ready or not. So it's worth deciding right now what kind of future you actually want to live in. So let me leave you with this. If Apple or Meta dropped a pair of totally normal-looking glasses tomorrow, glasses that replaced every single feature on your phone, would you actually buy them? Or does the idea of a stranger's AI, seeing everything they see, just feel like too much? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and I genuinely can't wait to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching Tech with Kaushik, and I'll see you in the next one.